Okay, this is my first time at this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Let me know what you think. If you guys like it, I will continue to do more. This will be my review of
Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem.
But let's put this game into perspective. This game was developed by a huge team of 13 people. It began as a crowd-funded game known as
Umbra,
but has since changed not only in name, but also in ambition. Let's get down to it. Wolcen is an ARPG similar to Path of Exile and the Diablo series. Let's talk about the issues that's holding this game back. First and foremost, the game is not only glitchy, but buggy. There seems to be a problem with hit detection during certain boss fights and dungeon where it shows that you're doing damage, but the boss or random enemy is not losing health. This is especially problematic with ranged weapons and skills that makes using a staff, pistol, or bow not only difficult but frustrating at times. Melee weapons, however, don't seem to suffer from this problem. Something else I don't like, which may seem simple but actually impacts gameplay more than people realize, the fact that my left button on my mouse is bind to simple attacks. You cannot change that. This is the same button for movement. The option to bind simple attacks to a separate key would have been greatly appreciated. Simple details like that can make an average game above average. It affects gameplay. I hope the development team puts out a patch that will change this, but as of recording, no such patch exists. Another issue is there are bugs that allow for things such as infinite money, which I don't understand why anybody would use since money is very easy to come by in this game, as well as small annoyances such as trying to open a door and no matter where you click on it, the door will not open. Then all of a sudden, boom, it's opened. This may be a loading issue, but there should be some indicator in the UI to show that your selection has been activated. One other issue is the multiplayer setup. There are no open lobbies. You can't search, create, or join any lobby anywhere because it doesn't exist. You create your game as a public game and you randomly join somebody's game or somebody randomly joins yours. And if somebody does join, say you have a great gaming session with them, there is great synergy. You enjoyed playing with this individual. You can't just go into the party list, pick their name, and send them a friend request. It's just not possible. At least I couldn't find a way to do it. There's also no recently played with list to access. Can't believe in 2020 we still have these issues. Okay. Enough of that. Now let's talk about what I do like. I love the fact that there is no dedicated class system. Your class is directly connected to the weapon you have equipped. So if you want to be a gunner, you could be a gunner. If you want to be a ranger, you could be a ranger. If you want to be a mage, you could be a mage. Just equip the necessary weapon for said class. There are two caveats to this, however. Skills are linked to the weapon of choice, so you need to have the particular weapon to use the particular skill. Now, that being said, you still have your passive wheel as well as your points that you acquire every time you level up. With each increased level, you have 10 points to allocate to 4 attributes. These attributes include ferocity, toughness, agility, and wisdom, all with different associating benefits. You allocate these points to benefit whatever class you decide to play. Then there's the passive node wheel. Each time you level up, you get 1 point that you could allocate to a node that is connected to a previous node that you chose. But the thing is, at any time, you can reset your attributes, reset your passive node wheel with in-game currency. Don't enjoy being a ranger or a melee class anymore, you can just equip the necessary weapon and skills, see if you like the new class, and then reallocate your attributes as well as your passive nodes. No need to start a whole new character, start a whole new level progression, just to try a new class. Now, this is not the first RPG to do something like this, but I wish there were a lot more. This needs to become the standard. Another thing is the passive wheel. You're able to rotate different sections of the wheel. so you could strategically pick where you want to spec your nodes. This especially works well if you decide to play as a hybrid class. However, the spinning of the wheel becomes less of an issue in higher levels. This is because every section of the wheel is accessible. That being said, since the level cap is 90, the rotation of the passive wheel would be best used for class optimization, minimizing selecting nodes that don't necessarily benefit your build while at the same time maximizing selecting nodes that do, leading to builds with great synergy, whether pure or hybrid. Now onto skills. Skills are not earned by a talent tree, leveling up, or anything of the sorts. Skills are drops. If you try to learn a skill that you previously learned, it becomes a currency that you can use to level up skills you already have or to respec your passive node wheel. This currency is also necessary for some endgame situations, but we'll get to that later. So if you enjoy class optimization and tinkering, this would be a great game to play. Let's talk about character customization. Wolcen has the best character customization system I've ever played in any game. It's very simple, very intuitive, and to the point. Any drop you acquire goes into your character customization pool for all classes. And this costs you absolutely nothing other than the in-game currency. This includes shaders. They are drops as well. Once acquired, they are permanently in your option pool. The transmog system is very well done. As for endgame, Wolcen transform into a city building game. You select projects to be worked on. Progress in these projects are linked to expedition missions that you do. You can make these expeditions more difficult by adding buffs to the enemies. You pay for these buffs using in-game currency. The more difficult the expedition, the better the loot. The deeper you go into the expedition dungeon, the better the loot. There are also multiple tiers of these expeditions. Overall, I enjoyed Wolcen, and I plan to dive deep into the endgame. Also, the developer said there'll be new content for this game. Whether that new content is paid DLC or free remains to be seen. So if you enjoy Diablo-style action RPGs, you should consider Wolcen. Even with all the quirks and glitches, it is still a very enjoyable game, and there is a foundation there that can be transformed into a great game. Let's hope the developers continue to work on this product so the transformation will be sooner rather than later. And that's my review for
Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem.